Hi! I'm back. And as you can tell, because I listened to my mother and I was getting sick of it, I shaved. Yay! So that is off the charts, and only one person at work knows it today, Mel, and she won an award. Not really. I just was excited that someone noticed, but I did it last night. And sorry I haven't been getting to my blog. I was going to do one yesterday, but I thought let's just wait till the end of the week in case something big happened today. And over the past 2 days, it's been really rewarding, and I'm really excited that I'm at this internship because I'm going to have so much to do. And I know after the last 2 days that this is definitely the line of work that I want to get into, especially through Res Life, and then keep that path on a little while. I call this the Jody Tessing Ritter route, but honestly, I could see myself in housing for a while. If I don't get up to the Dean of Students position that I want to achieve, that's like my top goal, campus-wide, housing would be an excellent route, especially if I got into a director position or even an assistant director of housing and still doing with RAs and hall directors or RCCs or ARCCs. But all these notes I've taken over the last couple of days of the things that we need to do. And like I said in my last blog, one of the things that Chad, my advisor, really is striving for Ashley and I, the other intern, is to get to know how housing and res life here works on this campus compared to other places, because Ashley and I have dealt with different setups where, at Ashley School, grad students are the hall directors, and that's how they're getting their education paid for, as where on our campus at Eau Claire, it's professional staff that I believe that all the hall directors have master's degrees, and it's required. It's actually not required, but it's it's a very high pedestal that you should have before you apply for those positions. Hence why I need to go to grad school and get a degree in student affairs. But yesterday was just wonderful. I had 4 meetings and I learned so much. And the first meeting that we had was with Corey, and he's the director of the judicial stuff on campus as well as the whole university. And he talked about how they deal with their judicial process. He had a really amazing organizational chart to show how, in case if there is an IR, what are the proper steps and where does it go on the chart. And so he talked about the system that they use online called JAMS, which is the Judicial Affairs Management System, and really reminded me of the IR system that we had on campus. And both are wonderful. And then we talked about how he really likes to use educational sanctions, but he's had to deal with full expulsion from the university, not just Chico, but the whole CSU system. But the one thing that I really think that would help out our university, especially with our students, is if we put a flow chart in the student planners that explain, here's the line of what could happen to you as a student if you are written up by an RA. And I know that there are a lot of questions from residents when we do write up them, especially about alcohol or stuff like what are the next steps necessary. And I think it would be a helper for the RA as well as the resident. And then we had a meeting with David, who is in charge of budgeting on campus and deals with all the financial situation. He used to be an accountant. Numbers aren't really my thing, so it was a little boring, but it shows that, budgeting in a res hall or any situation where you have to deal with money is very, very, very important. He had all these projections for the next 10 years, and it was really interesting to see, but it did kind of get a little long. Sorry, David, but it did. And then I'm trying to go through this quick because I know that some of you really don't care, but I do, because I'm going to have to deal with this. Then we had a meeting later that day with the IT director who deals with all the computers on campus, and there are only PCs in the hall, and she was saying that to have a centralized, like almost a rescom sort of deal at Eau Claire, but to have a centralized IT staff in housing to make the direct issues to the res halls is very, very important. And I agree with that, because if you think about it, you're paying for customer service, and if you have homework to do on campus and you're using the campus computer and something's wrong, then there's a problem and housing needs to take care of it. So she has a staff and she deals with it. So she was talking about how all the when we had check-ins here at Chico, they use their Wildcat IDs and they just check in, swipe their card, and they're good to go. We have a little bit different process at Eau Claire, which works fine, but it would take away all that necessary paperwork, which I imagine the ladies in the office just get so much because they have to deal with all the students on campus. And then last night we had a meeting with the University Police Department about Freshman Safe Start. And it's almost kind of like our party house with Jen Lee and Case and CASA, where we deal with alcohol on campus and dealing with that, as well as sexual assault. But they really orientate it male and female. They separate the males and the females, and they have an hour session with the University Police Department Housing and Counseling Services. And it's a short hour. It's recognized across the nation, so they deal with this and they get to know the officers. And one of the main things that I thought that was interesting was they want the residents to know what the steps are to call the officers, because sometimes they won't even call because they're afraid. And I think that's really important to get that relationship between the UPD as well as the resident. But it was amazing, and I found out about this system or this program that they also have about rape defense as well for women on campus, that shows what you can do in order to defend yourself. And I thought that would be awesome for V-Day, so I'm going to definitely bring that up. I know Stephanie Hormick would be happy about that. And then we're also doing welcome kits, which are similar to Eau Claire, really just businesses putting their stuff in there, and we're going to have to deal with distributing them to the hall. But that's pretty much how the week went. Tomorrow I head to Sacramento to go see the governor. But that should be fun. But we're going to do that, and then hopefully on Sunday I can give you a tour. A lot of people have been asking if it's been sunny. No, it's been cloudy today. And it's weird. Usually it's supposed to be in the mid-80s to high 90s. But I can't tell you. Hopefully it'll clear up by next week. But I got to wear jeans today at work, so I was excited. But I miss everyone at home, especially all my peeps at Eau Claire, and I do miss a lot of people. Also, Andrew, Nut, if you've watched this whole movie, have you noticed something? Yes, there are no fluorescent lights, so you don't have to deal with that. If you have any questions, ask away and comment. I really appreciate the comments. I'm really excited that you all are excited for me. So it's an 8-minute movie. Hopefully you've enjoyed all of it. I hope. So take care, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye-bye.